Good morning, everybody. We are so excited about today. We've got an amazing guest joining us from Austin. We're going to bring him on as soon as we can.
Good morning in Tennessee. We're transitioning from winter to what we call the pollinating. Be interested to learn about detoxing, having to do with that as well.
People from all over saying good morning. We just want to thank you for coming on. Today, we're talking about detoxing again. It's the whole month of March. We've been on a detox idea. Detoxing is interesting. I remember when I was a child, my mother made us dandelion tea. She
Oh,
would
yeah.
get her things. She had a lifelong obsession with dandelion. We're talking about detoxing today.
Linda, you want to jump in on the disclaimer? John wants to do it.
It's my
John,
favorite thing.
okay.
The WAVwatch is a low risk acoustical frequency product in the general wellness category designed to support self care and overall wellness. It is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or medical condition. The WaveWatch is not FDA approved or classified as a medical device, and its frequencies are considered experimental.
You could have
Man,
another job reading all the
that's
claims.
right. We're not going to read the bio word for word, but you guys can read this. Nurse Doza, we are so excited to have him on today. We met several times last year at different conferences. From the moment we met, John and I were like, that guy's cool. We've got to get him on a podcast. He knows his stuff. He has an amazing story, really cares about people, and has a heart for holistic health. As you can read from his bio, he's got experience in chiropractic, holistic nutrition, wellness, consults, bodywork supplementation, IV therapies, and runs School of Doza, which I'm sure we'll talk about, and Nurse Doza Clinic. John, you want to jump in on?
Oh, yeah. It was late last February in 2024. We originally met him in Miami at a show. And I think we talked at the booth for more than 30 minutes. We really enjoyed getting to know him, and the knowledge that he brings to the table is just really, it was eye opening for me on a personal level, but also on a professional level. So I'm super excited to have him as a guest.
Without further ado, here he is.
Thank you for the introduction. I remember our conversations well. I enjoyed meeting y'all. The family business is interesting because I believe y'all are putting out really good intentions in addition to all the good frequencies that you're helping us with. It's nice to meet other people who are like-minded, if you know what I mean.
Thanks, man.
I just wanted to ask, how'd you get into natural health? What was the impetus for getting focused on detox or health?
I was younger, playing baseball, and I always loved sports. I just knew I was going to be a part of it somehow. I thought I was going to do orthopedics, but I didn't want to cut people open. Like I just didn't, that just wasn't my thing. And so, went down a couple other routes, but I came to chiropractic and I started researching it. I was like, this makes sense. You can help the body naturally, holistically, and it's more than adjusting the spine. I was taught nutrition, I was taught lab work, and I knew I wanted to embark on that. So I started a nurse practitioner program when I was in chiropractic school. I was literally going to chiropractic during the day and nursing at night, which was really tough. I'm not going to lie. You don't have a lot of time for other things, but this is what you dedicated your life towards. But what's crazy is I didn't have a template for doing chiropractic and nurse practitioner at the same time. I decided I'm going to make this practice with the two licenses. It'll be something that no one's done before, but it's going to be my way. That's how it started. Then 11 or 12 years ago, I decided I'm going to work for myself. I wanted to be my own business owner and entrepreneur. Once again, chiropractic teaches you that because you have to open your own business, right? I learned a little business in chiropractic, not enough, but a little bit. Nursing, they don't teach you business at all. Nurse practitioners can own their own business, their own practice, right? And some nurses do as well. And so you imagine that there's no people talking to nurses about business holistically, chiropractic. I was fortunate enough to hear some of it, combine the two, and I wanted to create a health clinic providing natural therapies that were effective in a way where there was so much data backing it up, you couldn't ignore it, right? I decided to ask my best friend Baldo, which y'all met. I was like, hey, I don't really have sales and marketing experience, but I need help designing this. Will you help me? We created this health bar, and that's our clinic in Austin, the place where you can get an IV, chiropractic adjustment, lab work done. You can get supplements, have sound therapy, which we connected on. We have light therapy,
Mm-hmm.
helps with weight loss, but our focus has always been the liver. As a family nurse practitioner, I'm trained for heart disease, insulin resistance, diabetes, dementia. Those are just labels. Everyone has a liver. Metabolism But everyone has a problem with the liver and no one's doing anything about it. And no one's talking about it in a way that we should. There's a lot that can be done to save a lot of suffering. I think the way we approach it is fun and it gets people to want to continue to do the work so they can get the benefits and feel the difference.
I heard somebody say it's impossible to lose weight if your liver is not detoxed. Do you think that's true? Or have you experienced otherwise?
I agree. The liver can detox. It has two pathways called liver detoxification pathways, phase one and phase two. There's a recipe to unlock phase one to get to phase two to then get the ultimate result, which is optimal liver function. If you have a healthy liver, you're less likely to have heart disease, bad cholesterol, bad sugar, bad insulin. Maybe your dementia risk will go down. Study after study links the liver to the brain. And there's a direct connection where if I really look at the science, the liver detoxifies the brain because it's so powerful in its detoxification pathways. And really, when it comes to the brain, if everyone's worried about their cognition and their brain's health long term, no one's talking about the liver's health with the brain. There's only two ways to help the brain the most when it comes to detox: sleep and liver detox. I can go into the science, but that's our approach. The liver, for the win in practice, we've applied this and done labs to back this up. And we've seen people coming in and seeing results. If you detox your body better, you're going to feel better and you're going to walk around knowing it.
I've heard the liver has almost 500 jobs to do every day, and yet we don't take care of it. The information you're going to give us is going to be very helpful because that's what the liver does. It really is in control of our body. So this is amazing.
Wonderful. I can get into it right now. Like you said, 500 different functions. There's more than just detoxification. The liver stores and it makes your glucose. When you're fasting, you're releasing it from the liver. Your cholesterol, like LDL, HDL, triglycerides, they all come from the liver. When you think about that, the liver regulates hormones, thyroid hormones. Most of the clients I see are women complaining about their hormones. If they have hormone issues like menopause, premenopause, PCOS, I'm like, did you know the liver helps regulate hormones? If you have hormone issues, you might have liver issues. And if you take care of the liver, you might take care of the hormones better. How much broccoli do y'all eat on a daily basis?
Luckily, I had some yesterday, but maybe the week before.
Weekly is not a daily
Been a
basis.
while.
I do not eat a lot of vegetables. However, I promote plants as medicine because we get all our medicine from plants. But I'm not going to sit there and eat 20 pounds of broccoli and expect you to do the same in order to get the benefits, knowing that one, the broccoli is coming from soil here in the States that are probably not nutrient dense. You need the extract out of it. It's like saying wine is good for you when you really want the grape extract, resveratrol out of the wine. You don't want the alcohol. Let's take the curcumin extract out of turmeric. Let's take the sulfur and all those extracts out of the broccoli. And what you start having is a liver recipe because the liver needs a lot of sulfur, right? Just from a chemical standpoint, the liver needs sulfur functions, cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts. And what's interesting is most people are not going out of their way to eat that, nor are they serving it or bringing it through DoorDash, right? Like it's not like, oh, tonight, Friday night, I'm stressed out. I really feel like, some really good caramelized, Brussels sprouts. But I think that would be a better option than eating junk food from McDonald's or Chick-fil-A that your body cannot digest. And guess where all that's stored? In the liver.
Right.
That's awesome. John does make a mean caramelized Brussels sprout.
I do
It
love
really
Brussels
is.
sprouts. Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. Keep it up, John.
So, in addition to cruciferous vegetables, kale's been popular recently. That's helpful. Do you have top tips for helping your liver, feeding your liver, or detoxing?
So you think about your daily routine, and I think about supplementation, right? Food to me is supplementation. Oxygen is supplementation. Sunlight is supplementation. The detox for the liver starts when I get up in the morning. Some people start supplementing with things. Talk to 10 different people, especially 10 different guys, and they will drink 10 different things in the morning. If I look at black coffee, there's hundreds of studies that show it helps liver damage. Just black coffee, not the Starbucks creamer with whipped cream on top. That's not going to help. Everyone wakes up and drives, goes 8 miles to go sit in a drive-through for 20 minutes to get that cup of coffee. It's all sugar. And then I think about green tea, beneficial for the liver. If you took the extracts out of green tea, it would literally detox the liver for you. But I don't see people jumping out of their way to get green tea first thing in the morning. Let's talk about breakfast, right? What about eggs, chicken eggs? Omega 3s, the egg yolk has omega 3s. Omega 3s are beneficial for the liver. In a lot of cases, it reduces liver damage. And if your liver is going to store fat, cholesterol, I would rather store healthy fat like omega 3s. I look at sardines, salmon. If you make a bowl instead of a tortilla, a taco, like a burrito that we have here in Austin, everyone loves breakfast tacos. But if you just put in a bowl, you're not going to put a bunch of sugar from the tortilla into the liver. You're just going to put fat and protein from the eggs, right? If you don't like salmon or sardines in your eggs, I don't blame you. But those are also omega 3s. You could do like lean beef. Like you could do turkey, you could do chicken. I like meat, but I don't want to eat a bunch of beef. I need to eat some, but I don't eat a lot. And nowadays, saturated fat is not a bad thing. Beef doesn't need to be eaten in excessive amounts. With the carnivore diet, just look at the science. Fatty liver disease. Fatty liver disease is a ratio of higher omega 6s to omega 3s. What does beef contain more of? Omega 6s. What does fish and eggs contain more of? Omega 3s. So if I look at the carnivore diet and everyone eating beef and pork and bacon, I look at their liver enzymes and they're all elevated. So is their cholesterol. And I'm like, your liver's backed up. You're stuffing it full of hamburger patties and pork, and your body can't handle that. And I mean, I'll never forget, because I met y'all at an event. I get some of the best conversations at the events. Oh, the year before, this older couple came up to me and they heard me speak. And they said, hey, I want to talk to you about my husband's cholesterol panel. They literally had the labs in their pocket. Like, here it is. It was on, these were like 70-year-old people. I thought that was cool. I look at their triglycerides and total cholesterol, and it's through the roof. It's above 300 for total cholesterol. Triglycerides, like 2 something. I'm like, what are you eating? And he looks at me. He's like, what are you talking about? I'm doing carnivore. And I was like, why did you do carnivore? The fascinating thing about this, he says, digestive issues. I was having chronic diarrhea. I was like, okay, so what happened after you started eating a bunch of carnivore, diet? Like, what happened? He goes, well, that fixed it. And he said, but the problem is now I'm constipated. And I was like, yeah, well, like, you trade one for another, but your liver enzymes tell me you're constipated because you're not digesting. You're stuffing all this into your liver. Your liver enzymes are overwhelmed. They're showing signals something's off. So then I told him, I said, switch to omega 3, switch the salmon, the sardines, avocado fats, olive oil. People do a shot of olive oil in the morning, turmeric, lemon water, cayenne pepper, all great for the liver first thing in the morning. But I take my supplements. I take glutamine, which is great for the gut, but it's also great for the liver. I take NAC every morning, and that is one of the biggest liver detoxers. And then milk thistle. And if you take any of those in the morning, like your poops are going to be better about a couple hours later. Like, it's just fascinating. And so that's how it tells me it's working, right? I'm detoxing, I'm sweating. I can smell the sulfur and the turmeric coming out of me. When I go into the sauna, I'm detoxing. It's part of my morning routine. I'm taking supplements, watching what I eat, taking time to be mentally prepared and detoxify my whole body before I even get the day started. And if I can get more people as a practitioner to develop a routine that focuses on not only addressing the liver, but their health needs very first thing in the morning, they're not going to forget to do it and then not be able to do it later on when they're too tired at the end of the day, if that makes sense. Did that answer
That's
it?
great. No, that was awesome. Yeah, kick it off in the morning. And I know we'll have questions in the chat about where you get your supplements. And I know for you, that's probably an easy answer since you also have a supplement company. Is that right?
Full disclosure, I have a supplement company. So I take the supplements we have. I wanted to take the best. So I was like, let's make sure we do supplements we have 2 liver supplements. Each has different ingredients. One has 4 ingredients. The other has 16. I don't want to open 16 bottles in the morning. And that's ridiculous. So imagine it's all in one pill. I take that in the morning. It has NAC, milk thistle, green tea, turmeric, resveratrol, quercetin, B9, like folate's very important for the liver. And because I don't eat veggies, I'm very deficient. I could keep going into why folate's so important for the liver. But see, I take that in the
Mhm.
morning. I don't have to worry about it. And I feel better. It's noticeable. I even fast in the morning. I'm sure some of y'all fast as well, which is great for the liver. It gives the liver a chance to breathe and remove the cheeseburgers you ate last week.
Awesome.
Yes.
Or,
Or
or,
more.
So
or
I'm gonna drop in the chat for everybody the link to the Liver Boost is the one that has the 16 different ones, right?
yeah.
Oh,
So let me clarify. So there's two supplements we have for the liver. The liver boost is our number one selling supplement because we talk about the liver so much. Everyone says, what do we have to take for my liver? The liver boost is what I would take. It's like a multivitamin for your liver. For some people, it's a lot. Like I'm telling you, like take one to start with, take two or three if you want to start the detox. If you take four, it's going to clean you out. It removes everything. And some people don't like that, you know? So I say, okay, well, the more gentle one is our liver prime. And that one has the milk thistle, the alpha lipoic, and the NAC. You can go higher dose on to start with and not have a problem. Some people will graduate to the liver boost after that, but some people take them together because they're like,
right.
I've heard crazy stories from people who are like, my doctor says I have a really like calcified liver. I have liver damage, scarring on my liver, but there's nothing I can do. What do you think would help? Let's change the diet, work on lifestyle, then include supplements. If I just say take these supplements, they're powerful enough to work. It's like taking Ozempic and not changing your diet. You can take
Mhm.
the liver prime and the liver boost while you're on Ozempic. It makes everything work better. Can you change some of the breakfast stuff? That would help everything work better.
And did you mention glutamine? And I think that's a powder dissolved in water. Is that right?
Glutamine is an amino acid, makes up protein and DNA, and we need it. Like we need a lot. Glutamine's the most abundant one. So we need it all over the place, but we need it a lot in the digestive tract, like the lining. And then your liver needs it as a precursor to make antioxidants like glutathione, biochemistry, right? You have your proteins, carbs, and fats, and those are macronutrients. You break them down to make something else. The glutamine makes the lining of your digestive tract. If you take glutamine first thing in the morning, you poop better, you have better solids. It's fascinating. Just with water. First thing, that glutamine lines the digestive tract. Then it gets absorbed and then you can send some to the liver. The liver starts to make antioxidants. I've read studies and I've done this with people, especially kids. Think about it. You don't necessarily take the same supplements you do as an adult when you do a kid, right? So like parents all the time worry about allergies. We talked about the humidity at the beginning of the webinar. Everyone's draining, congested, and the kids are getting sick, especially like my kids. I don't want them to get sick. So we give them scoops of glutamine with apple juice or water first thing in the morning. That's what you were asking about for the kids. Each scoop, we call it gut powder. Our gut powder, which has 4 grams of L-glutamine, what we do is I would say 1 to 2 scoops with water or apple juice in the morning for your kids. And we give little droplets of vitamin D with them as well and vitamin C, like in a little shot glass. I swear those things have made the biggest difference. And our kids really don't get sick that often. I'm going to their school right now. Germs all over the place with all these kids. They're like my kryptonite. I'm more worried about the other kids' germs because my kids are going to come home with all that stuff and I'm going to have to fight it off too. So I'm taking my gut powder. I swear by this because I'm about to walk into kids coughing, snotty, and all that. And I'm like, I wish all these kids were just getting glutamine in the cafeteria. They need this.
Gotcha. My two teenagers are getting sick more than I would want them to. So I'm gonna start working on some glutamine in the morning for them and just dissolve that in some water.
2 scoops. I like 2 scoops. If you have a younger one and you want to start off, you can do half to a full because four
Okay.
grams is a good amount. You'll notice something.
4 grams. Okay. Cool. Well, I'm gonna report back when I see you later this spring.
Thanks.
So we've talked about, I mean, this is fantastic information on it, learning in general, but also for my own health. You've talked a little bit about your supplements, but I understand you mentioned you're going to a school, but there's another school you're involved with, right? School of Doza.
Oh, yeah.
What can you tell us about that?
You know how I told you I started a health bar? That was my dream clinic. Well, I did it. So I was like, what else can I do? Yeah, because that's how you think as an entrepreneur. And I was like, I want to dream bigger. If I really wanted to change healthcare, you're not going to retrain a bunch of doctors to think holistically because they weren't trained this way. Doctors literally say, I don't know anything about the gut. And doctors say there's really no medications to treat the liver, which is true. It's hopeless when you think about the traditional route of trying to undo what is a broken design system set up for profit. So you said,
Yes.
well, how about you create a system that is so grassroots that basically does everything that should be done? So that's what our school is. Our school at Doza is an online school that's a community of students from all over the world. They're adults who want to get better and they want to learn more about their body, their health, and what to do about it because they're not getting the answers from their doctors. They're not getting from traditional Western medicine. And so what I said was like, well, we'll bring it online. Everything we do in the clinic, we have an app that allows us to reach the masses. We found it. People are very receptive. We have over 100 students from all over the world. We have international students and a lot of women. You can log in and watch a live class. I teach a live class every week. Today, I teach one at 1 p.m. Central. This class is called Ask Me Anything. So it's like I show up for an
Nice.
hour and there's students from all over the world who say like, okay, like help me. I have thyroid issues, gut issues, liver issues. I have Hashimoto's, endometriosis, headaches. Here's what my doctor said. What should I do? Have you heard this? Have you tried this? Look at this. And here's your homework. And then like, okay, next question. That's Wednesdays. I love it because the conversation, nothing's off topic, right? We don't want to trauma jump. We want to get answers. So a lot of it is like, here's what's going on. Let's troubleshoot. And Thursdays are cool because I get to teach stress management, how to handle stress, what to do about it at home. Because I quickly realized why were they drinking alcohol and eating junk food this whole time, polluting their liver? It's because they're stressed at work, right? So let's address how to
Wow.
manage stress better so they don't keep eating junk food. Imagine I'm teaching you how to belly breathe. I'm teaching you stress management techniques I did at home to help with my issues and how it's helped other people. And the school itself, I can't tell you how many people tell us it's changed their lives. It's a passion project. We have women who haven't heard about this stuff. Some of your listeners might not have heard this before. Most people found me through
Mhm.
TikTok and Instagram. They didn't run into me at a wellness conference that I was speaking at, but I got invited to speak there because I was on TikTok. You're following online. I'm like, yeah, because I'm talking about the liver. Every one of my videos is about the liver. People will be like, you told me milk thistle, turmeric, eggs, salmon. I'm doing it now. I've lost 20 pounds, lowered my liver enzymes, my cholesterol's better. I've had some people say I've gotten off medications because of what you've taught me in your school, what I've heard from your podcast, and what I've learned from your newsletter. I'm also taking your liver boost. I'm helping with this. I have more energy. Someone told me the other day
Nice.
their acne finally cleared up. Like they weren't expecting that. I can't tell everyone the liver helps you with acne, but it does because there's so many other things that it does that I'm like, I can't tell you everything. Just take it and see what happens.
Right. Gotcha. We'll have to check that out. And here's the link for that as well, the schoolofdoza.com. So we met over a year ago and you've had a WAVwatch. There's a funny story. Apparently in our conversation, we gave you one at the booth. We forgot to mention that it didn't need to be super loud. I believe we helped you blast those frequencies into your family. Is that right?
Yep.
It was running pretty hot, pretty loud. Now we've got the new WAVwatch. The speaker is much more in contact with the skin. It doesn't need to sound like a fax machine or a squeaky dishwasher. What has been your experience so far?
I've enjoyed it. I have been using it now, was it February? So I've been wearing it consistently for a month now. I'm very active. I work out all the time. I'm in the dry sauna every other day. So it's important that it's water resistant. I take it everywhere. And I like it because it doesn't have Bluetooth, which I can use it as a watch. The frequencies are interesting because I'm a big fan of vibration and sound therapy. It makes sense now after hearing, the fact that the volume and you could be pressing against the skin. I put it on low volume while I sleep. I have it on while I'm like a little more in a quiet place because I want to hear the frequencies. I can tell you this. I didn't tell Joseph this earlier and Linda, but because I'm hearing the frequencies from my WAVwatch, I'm more in tune to picking up frequencies around me now. I can
Mm.
hear interesting frequencies I wouldn't normally hear. I don't know if I'm adapting or if I'm just having it ringing in my head all the time. I was at the gym and I could hear this buzzing that I don't normally hear. And I was like, gosh, I like that frequency. I just tuned in. You get lost for a second. I've
Nice.
enjoyed it a lot. I like the new design. Someone told me they really liked it as well. They said, that's a cool watch. And I was like, oh, thanks. So yeah, I've enjoyed it a lot lately.
We're working hard to deliver a quality product. It's good to know that some of them are still working as people are saying in the chat. The new one being more water resistant is going to stand the test of time, we hope. So yeah, go ahead, Linda.
Unlike you, Jonathan, I have a hearing problem, but wearing the watch makes me pay attention to frequencies more. I've learned about plants, animals, trees, everything has a frequency. And the wind will blow and the trees, and I'm thinking, am I hearing their frequency? It really does make you absorb more and learn more,
Yeah.
expand
Yeah.
your mind.
Very
It
cool.
does.
You've just got 3 minutes left because you're going to go into school and read at your son's classroom on his birthday, right?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Any quick questions that you guys have that Nurse Doza could answer? And the link to your TikTok and School of Doza as well. But anybody have a quick question? I know you've answered some great ones about kids and tips for detox. Anything you want to leave us with?
Right now, we have a link for a 14-day liver reset course. It's free. That school we were talking about, we highlight certain courses that we feel would be very educational for a lot of people. And the liver one is one of our most popular. If you go into my TikTok, my Instagram, like there's a link right there at the top. You just click it and you'll get a direct email sign up. Follow me on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube. If you want to try the school, there's a free 7-day trial. You can go to nursedoza.com and check out the school that way. I just want you to do something for your liver, whether it's using WAVwatch, taking milk thistle, NAC, turmeric, or eating more avocados. Just do something for your liver.
Awesome.
Green tea.
Yeah, there you go.
Awesome.
Thank you, Jonathan. We're going to share your stuff, your discount code, and the spring specials. Thanks and have a great day. We'll be in touch.
Thank you.
Appreciate you being here, Jonathan.
Thank y'all so much for letting me be here. And thanks for the connection. Y'all have a good audience. I saw some questions. Y'all have a great community. And thank you for making this watch. I appreciate it. It's part of my daily routine now. Thank you, guys. Take care.
That was really fun. I learned a ton and I'm excited to continue to interact with him and keep learning more. The human body never ceases to amaze me, especially the liver. I'm thankful people are thinking outside the box and looking at things in a more scientific way as well.
I think I'm just a number person, and that idea that the liver has 500 jobs to do every day. We have to take care of our liver. It's the most important organ. Another number I heard, we have 500 toxins in every meal. So I'm tying the liver to help me get all those things detoxified. I'm not sure what technique you use to remind you of things, but maybe something will click along those lines and you can remember to use those ideas for the liver that he was presenting to us. And that's changing our food style for breakfast. We're used to bacon and sausage and that kind of thing, and it should be salmon. And those foods in the morning would be more healthful, according to him. So we have a few minutes. Would you like to take some questions, or do you want to see where would you like to go?
We could talk about the liver on the WAVwatch. You started to mention, Linda, all in the sleep frequencies, which he said he's using every night for sleep. Throughout the night, if you're playing that sleep folder on the WAVwatch 2.0, timed in with the Chinese body clock, our liver detox, there's kidney detox, lungs, all the organs in your body, but the liver is a key one.
It's playing between 1 and 3. And then there's also frequencies for hormones. John, you've got the official chart in there. We tried to make the WAVwatch easier for you because on the previous one, we might tell you to play some liver ideas and then go to the hormone chart and also go to this one. But on the new watch, we've tried to combine those all for you. So you don't have to do anything but go to organs and liver, and you've got a really good booster frequency set for the liver without having to go outside of that idea. And then again, in the 1 to 3 idea for sleep, when you use that from 1 to 3.
Liver wellness and is a really incredible frequency one that's in there. And it's got things having to do with fatty liver and detoxing that liver, balancing it, working against cirrhosis, flukes, as well as a liver and a C word that I'm probably not supposed to say. That's all inside our liver wellness frequency. So lots of things to be working with there. So
We got a question here, Linda. If you're running the liver and kidney detox on the WAVwatch, what kinds of other supports should we be doing? Do you have any suggestions?
Well, I'm not sure if I'm understanding the question correctly, but when you say liver detox, if you're running the liver program.
The WAVwatch on the organs, liver wellness, kidney
Okay.
wellness. I think
Sure.
that's what he's saying.
Yeah, that is just more than detox right there. Those are the things we provide in that folder: cirrhosis, fatty liver, and things like that. Now, other ideas would be to make sure your food habits are the best. Throw some avocados, green tea, glutamine. I have that every morning. I got this drink I shake up. I hate it. I have it every other morning to get that glutathione mixed up. Those are things we suggest exactly what he said. And then the variety of things that are already combined for you on the liver in the organ system folder.
And Julie here is asking about 1 to 3 idea for sleep. Let me clarify that. So the sleep frequencies on the WAVwatch 2.0 support your body throughout the night with the Chinese body clock. When Linda said 1 to 3, that's the time of the night that the liver is a part of the Chinese body clock. That's why she said 1 to 3.
Folder starts at 8. If you go to bed at 8 o'clock p.m., it will go through several frequencies. If you go to bed at 11, click the 11 one and make sure your double arrows are set. It will continue to work all night long on every organ system, hormones, the vagus nerve, and it has a variety of things because we worked with some sleep specialists to do that.
Joseph, if people sleep later, we're leaving them out because it stops at 7 a.m. So
Hypothetically,
I'm gonna do some things for you, brother. I'm gonna see if I can increase
even
that.
if I go to sleep around midnight, but I start to sleep at 10 or 11, it helped me wind down and get
Yeah,
ready for bed.
Mhm.
Um,
gotcha.
we did have a question on the 1.9. If you don't have the sleep folder, you've got organs and liver wellness, and the organs folder, that's for your liver. At the same time, you should do a lymph detox, a kidney detox. They're related organ systems.
If you have the older watch without the 1.9 card, there are specific frequencies you can dial in from the organs folder.
Someone did ask what kind of a shake. I try to get healthy shakes. I make some. They're always a detox type shake. Plus, I have detox tea. So, detox is a big word in my vocabulary and things that I try to do. Very important for all of us. I can't say there's any specific kind. I change it around.
I did have a question for you, Linda. I'm not sure he addressed it, but I wanted to ask about fatty liver disease. I've heard there's an epidemic among women related to some of these stuff he was talking about, hormones, thyroids, and fatty liver disease, which isn't necessarily related to alcohol, but maybe carrying too many toxins. So maybe all the stuff he talks about today.
I'm not an expert on that idea, but what I think is there's a prescription that a lot of women are taking that is causing that hasn't really come forward yet. We take so many things. And I still talk to women who are taking Premarin. I had somebody come in who had been on Premarin for 26 years. In case you don't know what Premarin is, sound it out. Pregnant mare's urine. That is what they have given women for decades to take care of their hormones instead of using common sense and cleaning out the liver. So many prescriptions are causing that. But I can't name us an exact one because it works different in every woman.
Yeah.
So be careful. Look at everything if you're taking any prescription. I have women come in and they say, yeah, I went to my doctor and he saw that I wasn't taking any prescriptions immediately. He wanted to put me on XYZ prescriptions because I didn't have anything. I have been through the same thing myself, being 71. They want me on something. If you're in that situation, hopefully you can stay that way. But if you're not and have lots of prescription, please look at them carefully. We're probably to the choir here because you were also involved in it, but maybe you have some, relative loved one neighbors that you could share that information with.
Awesome. Yes.
All right. We should mention we just got 10 minutes left and we didn't show Nurse Doza's code. If you want to support Nurse Doza and all the links we've been dropping for his school, you're going to buy a WAVwatch with his discount codes, Nurse Doza 100. Awesome. I think we have got.
I'm going to read this question or comment. I wish you did replay. Now, don't we do a replay? Are we phrasing that wrong? Let us know where we can see.
Yeah, this is great. Let me show you guys. We just added this to our website. So give me 1 second.
We've added so you can see the replays much easier.
Yeah. If you go to our website, you can join our weekly webinar here. Go to content and webinar. You can see our next webinar, so you can enter that and watch this, and you can see all of our old webinars. We've got an archive of all the past webinars for the last few. You can watch click in, and if you want to go see the one with Lisa Hart, go right there. You can also find those on our Facebook and YouTube. I'll drop these links in the chat for you.
Perfect. I'm behind. I hadn't got to see that update.
Pretty awesome, right?
That's great.
Yeah, like
We got all sorts of questions. Just email me about the affiliate program. You go to our website. There's a link about the affiliate program.
Links.
And Erica, I see your question. People can email me directly and I'll get you set up. Joseph has shared the link. Affiliates.wavwatch.com. And you can just fill out a 30-second survey and then you're kind of putting an application to be a part of it.
I think someone had
excited.
asked earlier for suggestions with diabetes, and I can't remember the whole question. It was diabetes. One,
Yeah.
you can go under chronic, and those areas would be helpful.
We cannot officially diagnose or treat, just trying to get different ideas, think outside the box.
I'm
Can
always saying ideas or songs in there would be helpful. Go to chronic and make your choices from those selections.
ab-
Thank you all for joining. I'm excited to learn more about the liver and research it a little bit more and see if I can help make sure that mine stays clean.
we have a few minutes, John. I did have one other question that I wanted to clarify in the webinar. Kathleen just replaced a WaveWatch 2.0. We sent an email to everyone who purchased a 2.0. There were some isolated issues where it's actually a firmware issue, and we're working on an update. But in the meantime, if your WaveWatch 2.0 does not have over 8 hours of battery life, reach out to our customer support team and they can help you. We want to make sure that your watch has enough battery life to use it throughout the night. John, you want to tell anything about that potential coming firmware update?
We're just working on that firmware update in a way that's easy to do for each user and still kind of working on the back end of that. So I don't have any dates, but it's definitely something that can help with the stability and potentially optimize battery life a little bit too. So just a few little kinks that have been worked out with it, but thankfully not any security issues. There's no connectivity or anything like that. Just some different ways to help make it perform better for all users.
And we have a big question here. Can everyone use the same watch? That's a big yes. You can share it in your family. Frequencies will pass from you to another person. You could be holding your grandchild and playing anxiety, and they would be absorbing those frequencies. Or you could be playing and touching your dog, and they would absorb those frequencies. My favorite story, I told it on Valentine's Day. We had a gentleman call and he had ordered the WaveWatch for his wife with Parkinson's. He didn't know what to say. He cleared his throat, then he blurted out, "We sleep really close together." I was waiting, and then he blurted out again, and I could feel her frequencies when she had the WaveWatch on. And he said, "I got up the next morning and my feet didn't hurt." So of course I said, "Oh, that's wonderful." And he goes, "No, you don't understand. My feet have hurt for 15 years. And I have taken medication for 15 years for this problem." But after 2 weeks of snuggling with his wife on the WaveWatch, he was off his medication. He worked that through with his medical doctors. I'm not saying he did it, but snuggle a lot with people who you are wanting to share with, or just hand it to them and set it for another frequency. So everybody can use the WaveWatch.
Yeah, absolutely. The great thing on the new one, there are 6 playlists. So the 1.0, 1.9 is 3 playlists, but the new one's got 6. So you've got plenty of playlists for every family member. Thank you so much for joining. We appreciate it. I'll put a link to the website if you don't have a WaveWatch yet. All right.
Thanks
Lots
for
of love.
joining. Bye, everybody.
Yes. Thanks for being here.